Türkiye, football isn't the game you think it is. It's a storm of emotion. A heartbeat that echoes from the Bosporus to the mountains of Anatolia. Here, football is life, and life is football. It's a place in the world European teams like to avoid it as much as possible, because playing there feels like the edge of the world. You have heard about Galatasaray, Fenerbahçe, Besiktas. But beneath these giants lie fierce, proud clubs you might never have heard of. Clubs where loyalty is passed through generations. But there's also a darker side. Politics intertwined with raging precedents and even fans on the pitch. This is football with teeth, with poetry, with pure madness.
In this episode, we will discuss what makes Turkey's football culture one of the loudest, maybe the loudest, and maybe the most beautiful in the world. How you can go to these games and also give you the top 5 fan bases to visit. And of course, for that, we have a Turkish guest. Berk, what makes Turkish football so unique?
It's the whole passion. It's not the play-wise. We can't forget play-wise. It's not the best. I'm honest, I have to admit, but it's the passion. It's a whole another universe.
If you speak about like Turkey and their passion, how does it compare to other football nations, for example, in Germany?
Like how I can say it is, there are also videos. There are videos in the news where are grown men shown that are coloring their own home, like a three-story home, in the colors of their own club.
Would you say in Turkey the support goes further than the stadium? So in the stadiums you have the fans, but also the people that watch from home, they are so superstitious and so in belief.
And they're crazy, right?
They're crazy. It's just a lifestyle.
Just in Istanbul or in other places as well?
If I'm honest, I was not everywhere in Turkey, but like the biggest 3 clubs are in Turkey, so there is the most passion. But after that, I would say Bursaspor and also Trabzonspor. These fans are also really passionate about their club.
What makes them so different?
You mean the clubs?
Yeah, Trabzon and Bursa.
The Trabzon and Bursa, like if you look at Turkey, like we have different groups of people, like the people at the Black Sea region, like in Trabzon, they're seeing themselves as another nation.
They don't see themselves as Turks.
No. They see themselves as Turks, but as Turks from the Black Sea region. That's a bit different.
Do they hate Istanbul? Trabzon?
Yeah, yes. They're really hating Fenerbahçe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Only Fener or also Gala and Besiktas?
I don't really know. I think also Galatasaray, maybe also as rivals, but not as much as Fenerbahçe. They're really hating Fenerbahçe.
I mean, they even fought on the pitch with Fenerbahçe, right? So we get to that later. There's some crazy stories.
There are also videos on YouTube. You can look at it. There are guys in Fenerbahçe crossing the border to Trabzon, and some guys, they were forced by another grown man to take off their football shirts.
Fener shirt.
Yeah, Fener shirts, because they were in Trabzon. Like, it's unbelievable.
So you can't wear, for example, a Fener or Gala shirt in Trabzon, and you can't wear a Trabzon shirt in Kadıköy, where Fener is based.
Brother, it's hate.
Yeah.
They're hating each other.
Yeah.
It's not on the same level in the Bundesliga. And I'm honest, I love the Bundesliga, but it's not on the same level. And I don't say that because I'm Turkish. They are hating.
I mean, you know it because you're German and Turkish, so you know.
In a war.
Okay.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
bro.
When you speak about the hate, they're also famous for like whistling extremely loud. Yeah. Does it come from somewhere that they do it so much, or is it just their anger?
And why do Turkish fans whistle so much?
Turkish people generally are very emotional. Like, they're very emotional. Like, we saw it at the European...
the Euros, yeah.
At the Euros, yes. They're also thrilling. I have also videos, they're thrilling. They're throwing everywhere pyros. They're yelling.
You as well? Were you there?
They're nuts.
One more question I have to ask about Turkish fans is, and this is what foreigner fans don't get to understand about them, and they're sometimes memeing them for it, is they all sing the same song. So they all sing, hey, Bursaspor, ja, la.
You mean like, en büyük Jim Bom Bom. Yeah,
Jim Bom Bom. Well, what does it mean, and why do every club sing it?
Yeah, because they want to show that they are the biggest club in Turkey.
What does it mean?
What is Jim Bom?
Means the biggest.
En büyük.
Yes.
Okay. So en büyük Jim Bom Bom means we are the biggest.
Jim Bom Bom is from Galatasaray.
Yeah.
And we have also like example like Fenerbahçe. They can also say en büyük Fenerbahçe. Or also slogan from Trabzonspor is bize her yer Trabzon.
What's
So everywhere is Trabzon.
Okay. And also, I think we're forgetting how big Turkey as a country is.
Yeah.
It's bigger than Germany. It's 85 million people, I think, or 85 to 90. So it's even a bit bigger than Germany. And I looked it up as well, like in Turkey, apparently about 75% of the population are football fans. Compare this to, I think, Germany, the UK, France, all of them, even the UK, I think have like 70%, Germany like 65%, and that's like nations that are super passionate for football. So in Germany, for example, we have I think like about 50 million football fans. In Turkey, about 64 million. So those clubs are huge, man. The fan base, we underestimate it because they might not be as rich, but the fan base are so big, man.
And then you also forget that in countries like Germany and Netherlands, there are a lot of Turkish football fans.
Exactly.
That also support
even
their
here,
teams.
like you live in Germany, and there are how many Turks are there in Germany? 3 million.
I heard about like 5 million.
5 million just in Germany,
Yeah,
and
5
you
million or
all have like
6 million.
mostly Gala Fenerbahçe
Yeah.
as well. So there's even abroad.
We spoke sometimes to a cab driver who had a season ticket at Gala to watch just the derby and some of the big
There are
games.
also many like guys I know like they live here in the same city as us and they flew like every derby extra to Istanbul.
It's crazy, man.
When you talk about like the big three, so you have Beşiktaş, Galatasaray, Fenerbahçe. Are there lesser known clubs with wild atmospheres? You would say like, okay, if you go to that place and you want to visit not like the big three or it's impossible to get a ticket for, give me some smaller gems that people also can check out and will have an amazing experience.
My first stop would be Bursaspor with the crocodile style arena. It's also very impressive that they have such a stadium.
Timsah Arena, right?
Yeah.
Timsah Arena is it called, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And though they are in the 4th division.
Did they get promoted? By the way, I'm just checking it. Because they were in the 4th division this season. I don't even know if they went up. But they had like over 40,000 fans in there. We talked about it. 45,000 fans in the 4th division, bro. How big is this club?
Bursaspor.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. I would say also maybe Göztepe Izmir.
Is that in Istanbul?
No, it's
Izmir.
Izmir.
Ah, okay.
Is that the orange and red club, Göztepe?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Do they have
Big.
good fans?
Yeah. They're also good fans. Like also a very like upcoming club would be, and I don't want to be political, is Ahmetspor.
Okay. Why?
Because like it's a new club that's representing the Kurdish minority in Turkey.
Where is it based, the club?
In Diyarbakır. Like Ahmet is the Kurdish name.
Okay.
Is that in Anatolia, in the east?
Yes. It's more like Anatolia, East Anatolia, more like Mesopotamia.
What division are they? Second division?
2nd division.
Okay, so they're not in the Super League yet. Do you think they will
not.
go there eventually?
Maybe.
So
I don't know.
do they only have Kurdish players, or how do they represent the Kurdish community?
They're like representing also the Kurdish community. Indeed, they have the Kurdish name of the city, and they have also Kurdish players and fans.
Fans are all Kurdish, so no like Turkish guys support them.
Bro, last year I was in Istanbul, and every Kurdish guy I saw like outside has a uniform from Ahmetspor. So
In Istanbul, they were.
Yes.
Okay.
What makes it that Turkey is so political and expresses itself in football?
Like I would, as a Turk, I would also say like Turks are a bit complicated. They're very emotional. They're passionate. They want everyone to show what they stand for. what football club, what heritage they have, and what political views they have.
If you talk about like ground hopping in Turkey, so if I want to go to games in Turkey, is it safe for me to go?
It's safe. Like, I would say the Turkish ultras are not so aggressive, like, even though it seems so.
That's a bit also my take. I'm asking these questions because I'm also trying to be objective in this podcast. But there sometimes is an image like that Turkish fans are dangerous, or that Istanbul is a dangerous place. But I feel like it's another capital like others.
Just don't go to Esenler.
Where?
Yeah,
Esenler?
Esenler.
Is that
Just don't go.
why?
Don't go there.
Why?
They will rob you.
Okay, is that's
Even your underwear, they will rob you.
Finn, you have been to the derby.
Yeah.
Even though it was somehow a bit sponsored, but you still had to get a ticket. Tell me, how do I get a ticket and how can I enter the stadium? Because it's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. I've talked about this before, but like even I got a ticket through Puma, so it was really lucky that I got one. But even I had to go obviously through the whole registration process. You know it maybe with the Passo League. Yeah,
You're registered just for one club.
Yeah,
for the entire lifetime.
Yeah, but so I picked Gala, obviously. So you have to go on the app Passo, you create an account, even with your passport. Not even ID is enough. Even though you can enter with your ID in Turkey, right? National ID as a German, but you need a passport for the Passo thing. And then you register, you pick one club. I picked Gala, and then it's a bit complicated. You pick up your Passo at a stadium in Turkey, and then you can buy a ticket through the app. And then when you enter the stadium, you have to show your passport again. They see, is it the same as on the app? And then you get in. So they know exactly whoever is in the stadium. In Germany, you could have just bought a ticket from someone else. You enter the stadium. In Turkey, not possible. They must know who's in the stadium. But why?
Yeah.
Has there been so much violence before?
Generally, Turkey everywhere. Like even if you're in the mall, you get everywhere security checkups.
Okay.
Though in the mall, they don't check your passport, but you have security scans. They check you if you have weapons on you or something. Yeah, Turkey is a bit fucked up.
Even in my hotel, we went to the hotel, and even the hotel entrance had a security check, like an airport. I never saw this before. Never seen this before.
But talking about like the dangerous sides in these stadiums, as I said, I have seen multiple big European teams completely shite themselves from first second till the 90th in a stadium in Ramos Park.
Timo Werner.
Have you heard about the Timo Werner story?
Yeah. There was one time when Leipzig played Champions League. I think they played Champions League for the first time there in Beşiktaş. The game Leipzig Beşiktaş, bro. Timo Werner was subbed off. I think it was even in the first half. He was subbed off because it was just too loud. He was subbed off with heart problems, like breathing problems, and his whole, like he was almost passing out because of the noise of the whistling of Beşiktaş fans. Bro, that's crazy. When you think about it, in Germany, some people say, Turkish fans, they can only whistle. It doesn't help the team at all. But bro, in this case, Leipzig's best player at that time, Timo Werner, had to leave the match. Obviously, this gives your own team an advantage. Just because the fans whistled, bro.
And especially because because the home team is used to it, right? They're used to playing in this environment.
But as a Leipzig, that was the first time they played in the Champions League. New team. None of those players, I think, had played Champions League before. So they hadn't played there. And that obviously, so you see, it helps your team. It might be a bit of a dirty tactic, because Timo Werner was seriously I think he had a real trauma there. He was shocked. I mean, he was all right after that, but still, mad.
If you talk about like the fans and how much a role they play for their team, yes, I feel like they sometimes have won the game for their team in motivating the players and making the opponent scared. But why are Turkish teams still so bad in football?
Oh, bro is roasting you. I mean,
will get roasted. Yeah.
No, but like
it's fair.
Turkish fans, I'm sorry, but in this podcast, we're always like trying to be harsh and honest, and I don't think you're really bad. I'm just asking a question.
What you mean is like the only Turkish club to ever win the European trophy was Galatasaray in 2000.
Yes.
UEFA Cup, and I think also the Super Cup against Madrid. Yeah. But that's it.
But again, like, let me be honest and explain it. This year, Galatasaray had a strong team, Osimhen in attack, and they were complete shit in Europe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fener lost.
I'm sorry.
Of course. Yeah, I know. I watched the game against Rigas.
Explain to
I was
me.
crying.
Explain to me how teams like Ajax, even right now Mainz, are a better team than Galatasaray.
I think it's more complicated than as we think. Like it must have been such sort of intern things, maybe. Like
What do you mean?
Like the trainer.
Behind the
maybe
scenes, yeah.
Behind the scenes.
Okay.
Because even AZ Alkmaar won easy against Galatasaray.
That's not
Yeah.
even the top 4 team in Holland, right?
They are fifth,
Yeah.
and they
So how did
beat
they
you. They beat you easy.
And you have Osimhen, you have you have a strong team. bro, it's sad. No, but I would love to see Turkish teams do better, but sometimes like even Greece, Olympiakos, Greece is like 8 times smaller than Turkey. Olympiakos won a European title last year, the Conference League. Why can no Turkish
But
team
we
do this?
destroyed PAOK. But we destroyed PAOK.
Yeah,
in the
fair.
Euros.
But even
What do you think?
Like I think it's also some of the players like they play like if they have a bad mood or a good mood maybe
so they're not
Arda Turan.
consistent.
like yes well like the most of the Gala fans themselves say that also like they're also not consistent.
So you think consistency is a big issue,
Yes,
and how can they improve that? You think what is the solution for Turkish team to do better?
I think they need a better motivator like therefore like Okan Buruk we had Fatih Terim the emperor.
Yeah.
Like this guy, he was crazy.
But like, do they need more discipline? Are they not disciplined enough, Turkish
I think
players?
also a bit more discipline, but also more motivation. Like
Or is it
against-
maybe the pressure that they have? Because they have so many fans. Even when they play in Germany, whole stadium will be full of Gala fans.
Yeah.
Like you,
Yeah.
living in Germany. Is it maybe too much pressure for the players that they have such higher expectations?
Could be also.
But one thing is for sure, the fans will never leave the support for the club.
Yeah.
Tell me the best 5 most passionate fan bases of Turkey. Number 5.
Oof. I'm excited to hear this.
Bursaspor,
Bursaspor.
of course, like they're in the 4th division, and though they have many fans.
They sell out their 40,000 capacity stadium.
Yes. So then, like
Number 4.
say directly Trabzonspor.
What makes Trabzonspor so special when you see your team Galatasaray play in their stadium? Do they have trouble with the atmosphere?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's the hate that they have against Istanbul, right? Because they're probably the next biggest team after the big 3. Maybe like Feyenoord, they hate Amsterdam, they hate like the capital. I think Trabzonspor is similar. They just Istanbul is not the capital, but the capital of football.
Like because there are people like from the Black Sea region, like from Karadeniz, we say in Turkey, and like they see every time like a big club from Istanbul wins, and for them it's their own opportunity to show their identity. I think it's more important than we think.
So all they want to do is beat the Istanbul teams. That's
Yes.
like the biggest thing they want to do.
Yes.
Okay, I feel that. So that's why they're so like in these games they're fucking ready, right? Okay, and then number 3, you've got the big 3, but what order? Be honest.
And be honest.
Unbiased. Number 3 in
Okay,
number 3.
then we'll see directly Fenerbahçe.
Okay.
So Fenerbahçe is your number 3.
Yes.
Why would you say they are like if I am to choose and you are now being objective? Why is Fenerbahçe a bit less better supported than?
Because they have their own problems with the president of their own club,
Ali Koç.
Ali Koç.
Why?
Yes. Because since they had Ali Koç as president, they are losing. Like in this season, they didn't want any derby.
So
But how is it the president's fault? Because he gives money. He's one of the richest men in Turkey, right?
Yes.
And he brings people like Mourinho.
Tadic.
He brings a guy like Mourinho. So you can't say
Even
he.
Mourinho failed.
Yeah, I know, but he brings big names. But Fener fans are still not happy with him.
Yeah, because like I think like they have also problems with like Dzeko, not Dzeko in his own, but Dzeko was like very old.
Yeah,
For his
okay,
age.
but he did still well. But okay, I get it. Last time they won the league, I think 2014.
Yes.
So they're really mad. So do you think like the support has been a bit decreasing because
Yes.
10 years ago they had better atmosphere probably, right? When they won leagues.
Are Fenerbahçe glory hunters?
A bit.
Okay.
Now, if you say like, okay, when there's not really now a lot of success, the atmosphere decreases, it's a bit glory hunted.
The videos like from the 1 month ago, like 2 months after the last derby against Galatasaray, there were no fans in this in the arena.
Okay.
They didn't sell out their stadium.
Yeah, they didn't sell out the stadium. The old fans, they shout that they want that the president had to stay back.
I mean, they do have an average attendance of 34,000 in a 47,000 stadium, so they don't sell it out, but they still have an okay average attendance. But then that's your 3. You have 2 better fan bases than Fenerbahçe. Like who is number 2 in Turkey?
And you have to be honest. Your number 2 is?
Galatasaray.
Okay.
But in my heart, Gala will be forever.
Okay, but you are here on this podcast because we also thought you were objective. So for a neutral fan and you want to experience the most loud experience, you have to go to...
Say it louder.
Okay, no, but...
Okay, hey, bro, I appreciate the insight from you. I've heard that from many people that it's apparently the loudest.
Since this year, I feel also like there have been more videos where people even recorded like the decibels.
Yeah.
And
Theo did that.
At the Vodafone Arena, it was the loudest.
Yeah. It's also a really nice stadium, immediately by the Bosporus, right? Immediately at the sea. I walked past it. I have to watch a game there. So you say, we go, we have to watch Beşiktaş.
Yes.
You come with us?
Is there...
Of course.
I think with that, it's time for a pretty big segment in this episode. What the fucking hell is that? This is a special edition, guys, because Turkey is so crazy, so wild, that we have not 1, not 2, but maybe 3 what the fucking hell moments. Seatbelts on. I can start.
Go ahead, man. We have so many moments. This is the perfect episode for what the fucking hell is that? What do you have for us?
Imagine you play a Super Cup final. So you are in a final and you face your giant rival Galatasaray, or for the Galatasaray players, Fenerbahçe. And after 1 minute and 41 seconds, you leave the pitch.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, why did they leave?
It was protest against the government.
Yeah, against the federation.
It was not because Icardi scored after 50 seconds and they were scared of Mauro Icardi.
No.
No, but also in the final, they Fenerbahçe players, they played like a B team.
They played the academy, bro.
They played the academy.
So it goes way back.
Imagine being like Mauro Icardi preparing for a final. They did the warm up, and then you see like academy players.
And they like, who are these guys? Who are we playing against?
I also thought to have seen because I researched this. And correct me if I'm wrong, that the Fenerbahçe social media, etc., they didn't announce anything all day. So
they didn't acknowledge that the game happened.
Yeah.
So for them, like the game never happened in Fenerbahçe's eyes.
How? And after they won this game, so after 3 minutes, the Fenerbahçe players didn't come back.
1 minute, 41 seconds, was it?
Yeah. And then the players just were like playing and they were waiting on the pitch, so the Gala players didn't walk off. And then they got acknowledged the win, so they won it. And then they went partying with the fans. Like they were really celebrating it as a big fuck you to Fenerbahçe. How do you feel about that? Do you agree?
Proud?
Proud. Of course,
proud that you won against a 19-year-old academy team.
Not my problem.
It's not your fault, right?
Not my fault.
You have the Super Cup.
Yeah.
Crazy, but it goes way back because I think the reason was like Turkish football, as you said, it is so complicated. We did research, but still, it was the game against Trabzon, right? When a while before that, the Trabzon fans got on the pitch and they beat up Fener players.
Yes.
Like, what the fucking hell is that? Like, you be like Fener had beaten Trabzon in an important game, and then the players were celebrating. We just watched the video of this. I've got it up here, and then all of a sudden, the fans run on the pitch and they beat up the players
with like these big white balls.
And this guy, Osai Samuel, right? He was like holding his own, bro. He fought 1, 2, 3 fans. What a guy!
He gave an amazing kick.
He gave a crazy kick.
But how?
Like maybe he should consider like quit football and start at the UFC.
What was the sentence for like the Trabzonspor fans? Because you don't really seem surprised, but What was the sense? Did they have to have an entire season without a full stadium?
Not at all. I think apparently, which I looked that up as well. Initially, it was a 6-match ban for fans.
Only 6 matches,
and a fine of £74,000. Like
Are you
80,000 euros.
serious?
That was the initial ban for like your fans beating up the opponent team in Germany. That would be way worse in the Netherlands. In England, bro, imagine. Bro, that was the initial one. Trabzonspor appealed against it. They said it wasn't fair. Like, that wasn't fair. And then they apparently, 12 people were arrested, by the way. They appealed, and then the stadium ban was reduced to 4 games without fans and a fine of £11,000. So that's nothing. Like, nothing. And then, obviously, Fener were mad. I can understand that, because like their players got beaten up. And then, obviously, they were mad, and that's, I think, why they protested against the federation in the game against Gala, which wasn't anything to do with Gala. But like, I understand Fener like being mad at this, because this is nothing.
I am against collective punishment. So when like 10 people light insane pyro and the whole block gets cancelled. But this was not 10 people running on the pitch.
This was hundreds of people.
Hundreds of people from different blocks. Like, of course, there will be innocent people punished by it. But even if my club, like thousands, would run on the pitch and beat up other players, I would accept a stadium ban. Like,
though
completely.
these 100 fans still represent the club.
Yeah. And I think that's also where it was in Trabzon, right? So you saw like the hate they have against Fenerbahçe that you said. So then obviously these kind of dramas, they go on for years, bro. Like for decades.
If you talk about like these what the fuck moments, I think if you hear this story, you think like, can it get more crazy? Well, fasten your seatbelt again, because we have another what the fucking hell moment.
Fasten your seatbelt, lads. And we actually stay in Trabzon as well. Like, Trabzon is crazy. I looked this up for this. I was actually struggling to pick a what the fuck moment for this episode. Not because there weren't any, but because there were too many. But the one that I'm going for, it was in 2015. Trabzon played against Gaziantepspor. Is it Gaziantepspor? Right?
Yeah, Gaziantepspor.
Gaziantepspor. They played 2-2, regular league game. But in the end, Trabzon felt like they should have got a penalty. They didn't get that. So what did the president, like the game ended 2-2, they felt they should have won. The president of Trabzon, Süleyman Hurma, is he still the president? I'm not sure. Süleyman Hurma was the president of Trabzon back then, and he was really mad. So what do you think what do you think? How do you think he reacted to his team not getting a penalty?
I think.
What's your guess?
Well, let me say, if you are like a bit common sense and you are angry and passionate about your club, you would like maybe run on the pitch and maybe grab the referee like on his neck and then get punished by That's what
or maybe slap them.
As a president.
He's from Trabzon. Like, Trabzon are really known for like their temperament.
Okay. I have no clue, but okay, let's go. We go for he gave him one slap in his face.
Oh, that would have been mild. Well, he actually, I think we can say it like that, he kidnapped him. Yeah, I swear, bro. I swear.
You're joking.
What he did, Süleyman Hurma, he picked the president, he got the referee and his assistants, he put them in a room and he locked them in there. He didn't leave them out. So he actually, he kind of put them in prison in his own stadium. He held them hostage in his own stadium. He wouldn't let them out. And the situation escalated so much that after hours and hours, the referee and his assistants were in there. They couldn't get out. And the Turkish president, Erdogan, had to call the president of Trabzonspor and he had to back them, bro. Please leave the referee, like, please release them. And the next morning, Erdogan called the president of Trabzon to release the referee and free them. So then eventually they got out, but they put them, the president kidnapped the referees for the entire night, and he would like...
Does the referee still whistle a game?
I'm not sure, but if I was him, I would never go to Trabzon again.
Whoa, bro, but you don't seem surprised.
It's normal, right?
Turkish are emotional.
I mentioned before, like we have also Turkish mentality. That's also very like, we have like emotional. We are emotional. We have temperament. But the Trabzon, like the Trabzonlus, we call them in Turkey, like the guys from Trabzon, they are they have a high temperament.
Kidnapping a referee for multiple hours is Don't you find that sick?
Like that's just sick in the head,
It's
bro.
sick. Like if we talk about a sport which has to be like in a way professional, which you should control yourself, it's very childish.
Last year, a president of a Turkish team also kicked a referee in the head.
That's just normal, right?
That's just normal. No,
But you see how big football is in Turkey, that the president of the entire country needs to call the president of the club, like even he has to get involved. That's how mad, that's how big it is for the people, man.
We end every episode with subscriber questions. Thank you so much again for sending these in. If you're listening to this episode, please leave your questions down below in the comments. We start with Cenk.
Cenk had a question for us.
Can Türkiye be a dark horse for the World Cup 2026?
Do they have a chance to go far?
Let me be honest, like it is possible. It is really possible, but I think the chances are like 40%.
That's a lot,
That's
man.
a lot.
There are
That's a
48
lot.
teams, bro.
You know there
Okay.
are teams like Brazil, Argentina.
But we showed in the Euros.
You got beaten by the Netherlands.
For this, we're talking all the time about
Okay.
Virgil van Dijk. Virgil van Dijk couldn't catch really Barış Alper Yilmaz. He had to foul him.
We see each other at the World Cup, I think. Then we have a final question from Julian. And Julian asked to you, because you are a Turkish fan, but is there another team you could name in Europe, not from Turkey, you would like to see because of their atmosphere?
Ajax Amsterdam.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What makes
why?
them?
I like Ajax.
What makes them so special for you?
Also, the atmosphere. I like Amsterdam as a city as its own. Like it's fascinating me. I like the culture also. Netherlands as a neighbor country, and it's also the biggest club.
Yeah.
Why not?
That was our episode about Turkish football.
Maybe once we do another episode, let us know which other clubs we should talk about. Turkish fans, we appreciate your support. And thanks for being here, Berk. We are going to see each other next Wednesday for the next episode. Peace.